Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to find out what would happen if 1,000 men were to take on a single gorilla. This video will be filled with action and suspense, so make sure to watch till the end to find out who would win this battle. A long time ago in the dense jungles of Congo, there lived a very large troop of gorillas. One day, a huge male gorilla was strolling through the jungle. When he came across a group of poachers, the gorilla was known for his immense strength and was also the troop's protector. He would not tolerate any harm coming to his family. The poachers opened fire, but the gorilla was too quick for them. He dodged the bullets with ease and charged at the poachers. They dropped their weapons and fled for their lives. The gorilla was enraged and wanted to teach these poachers a lesson they would never forget. He picked up a log and hurled it at the fleeing poachers. The log hit one of the poachers and knocked him out. The rest of the poachers kept running for their dear lives. The gorilla dragged the unconscious poacher to his troop and introduced him to his family. The poacher's screams echoed through the jungle, but the gorilla paid him no heed. He groomed his family and they all slept peacefully that night. The next morning, the gorilla woke up to the smell of bacon. He was so hungry he could eat a whole elephant. He went to the river to get some fish and bring them back to his troop. But to his surprise, the river had no fish. All the fish had been caught by the poachers. The gorilla was furious. He wanted to get back at those poachers and teach them a valuable lesson. He climbed up a tree and swung from branch to branch, moving through the jungle with ease. He was determined to find those poachers and get his revenge. Suddenly, he heard a noise in the bushes and his ears perked up. Could it be the poachers? He cautiously approached the noise and found a small group of men setting up a camp. Were these the poachers he was looking for? He decided to follow them and see what they were up to. As he followed the men, he saw them doing something that made his blood boil. They were setting up a cage, and inside the cage was a female gorilla. She was crying and screaming for help, and the men were trying to make her stay inside the cage. The gorilla couldn't bear to see his fellow gorilla suffering like this. He wanted to save her, but he knew he had to be careful. If these men saw him, they would try to capture or kill him. So he waited patiently for his chance to strike. When the men went away to get some food, the gorilla crept closer to the cage. He tried to open the cage, but it was no use. He needed a way to distract the men and get them away from the cage. That's when he had an idea. He picked up a stick and started making a lot of noise, banging the stick against the cage. The men heard the noise and came running back to see what was going on. The gorilla took this chance to break open the cage and free the female gorilla. They both ran away as fast as they could, and the men were left empty. The gorilla was happy to have saved the female gorilla, but he knew that the men would not give up. He had to find a way to protect her and his troop from the poachers. And that's when he came up with a plan. He gathered his troop and told them to run away from the poachers. At first, the men thought they had scared the gorillas away, but they were wrong. The gorillas had a trick up their sleeves. They had set traps all over the forest floor, and as the men walked through the forest, they kept stepping on them. The gorillas had tied vines and branches across the paths, making it difficult for the men to move forward. Some men even stepped on some logs that the gorillas had placed over holes, and they fell into the holes with a loud thud. The gorillas had also tied some vines together and made swings. And some men got caught in the swings and couldn't free themselves. The men were frustrated and exhausted, and they finally gave up on catching the gorillas. They packed up their things and left the jungle, defeated. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed watching it, then please like and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing animal videos. Now, let's get back to our video. The gorilla troop had won against the poachers, but the battle was far from over. The poachers were regrouping and planning their next move. They were determined to capture the gorilla, dead or alive. Meanwhile, the gorilla was trying to protect his troop and keep them safe from the poachers. He knew that he was stronger than any man, but he was worried about the female gorilla. She was not as strong or experienced as him, and he was afraid that she might get hurt. As days passed, the tension between the gorilla and the poachers kept building up. Both sides were preparing for the final showdown. The poachers had set up a trap and were waiting for the gorilla to make a move. They wanted to capture him alive and take him to the zoo. One day, the gorilla left the troop to go look for food. He was gone for hours, and the poachers thought it was their chance. They crept closer to the troop and tried to capture the female gorilla. But just then, the male gorilla came back and saw the poachers trying to steal his family member. He charged at them, and the battle began. The male gorilla was too strong for the poachers. He kept attacking them and sending them flying through the air. They tried to fight back, but they were no match for the gorilla's strength. The female gorilla was also not the helpless damsel in distress. She fought back and bit one of the poachers on the hand. drawing blood. The poachers were scared and exhausted and finally gave up. They dropped their weapons and ran away as fast as they could. The gorilla troop had won, and they celebrated by hugging each other and making loud, happy noises. So, who would win in a fight, 1,000 men or a gorilla? Based on this story, we can say that a single gorilla is no match for 1,000 men. The gorilla may be strong and agile, but there is power in numbers. 1,000 men would easily overpower the gorilla and achieve victory. However, it would not be a clean sweep. Some men would definitely get hurt in the process. Gorilla vs 1,000 men. Who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please like and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.